Okay, so good evening, Pragya. So now I have your resume and your policy uh, brief now with me, and I'm reading it. So the first question I do have is, you did supported that the age of the marriage at the time, age of the girl at the time of marriage should not be less than 21. So may I know why do you think that a girl is eligible for marriage just after 16? So why a parent should wait 5 more years to get that child married?
Sir, I think the age of the girls should be increased to not only 18 but to 21, and it's a good decision because I think in today's many girls and even boys, which they drop out at early age at higher secondary schools, and the lack of access to education facilities, all of them forced, and also the poor families mainly where the child marriages are being enforced. Mainly into these sectors. Why? Because the lack of education and the poor families. So I think that age of marriage should be increased because one should be able to take decision into the careers and should be financially independent once they reach
So,
their age
so
so that they
here
can
is
support themselves.
Pragya, here is a question for you. Uh, do they are getting married because do they are getting married just because they are dropping out of school, or they are dropping out because of the marriage being happening in early years? Like these are the two things that we need to
So I
take it
think they are
separately.
dropping out mainly because they're forcing into the marriages the families which are not being able to provide them for their education. They consider marriage as the second best option to loan off their burdenings, and also to because there is lack of facilities to for the empowerment of all of the children and also of the family
So
growth.
if it is the only reason, then why government is not supporting them with education rather than forcing the parents to keep that girl child with them for the next two,
There
three,
are
4
many provisions of the government which are also supportive, but they are not being implemented at the ground level. There are also provisions in the policies, but we see that the perfect evaluation or the implementation is not there, and hence there are many girls which are being uh, dropped out forcefully or due to any other reason in the family or by themselves because they are not yet independent enough to support themselves, and also the marriage is seen as the second best option for them. Even in the societies, they are also faced many stereotypes and the societal pressure, which also force them into child marriages. And a government is doing them, but a proper implementation of these policies will only be if these mindsets and stereotypes will be removed in the society, and also when the bill, which is also an undertaker of this, will support them to avoid the marriages and also to empower them in other ways, and also education facilities so that they could be financially independent and take the decisions in their life once they reach a particular age.
Yeah, but don't you think that many students or many not students, many girl is quite mature enough to even take the decisions or to get married even at the age of 18 or 19? So if I'll ask with their perspective that if they want to get married at the age of 18 by their own will, by their own adulthood, by their own choice, why government should stop them marrying at the age of 18 or forcing them to stay unmarried till 21?
So I think that yes, at 18, one is independent enough to take decision about their life, but not. But they should also ensure that they could also support their lives by themselves and not supporting on their partner or not becoming a burden to themselves or to their families. And the financial independence does not come from a particular age. It could come also at 18 or 19 or 20 or 21, or even after 21, one can be financially independent or not. So it's mainly it comes to the factor whether you can support yourself and whether you can support your life, and also can take that decision where where you can live independently without having a burden on yourself or to your family. So the age is not a factor there. when taking into that decision.
Okay, Pragya, let's move on to the next part of the interview. Why do you want to pursue this fellowship?
So my reason for pursuing this fellowship is also because it aligns with my areas of interest and to my future goals. I think LAM fellowship gives me a platform where I can use my skills and also work with the parliament and with the MP. I can see the structure. I want to understand the system, that how the parliament of a country works, and it could only be when I could work closely and see who are the stakeholders and how the bills and laws and acts are being formed, drafted, and they're acted, and how they influence the people's life, and how these policies are made and implemented at the ground level. And this could only be done when I could have these opportunities of fellowships, which where we could have various domain and also get to work with the MP by using my learning skills and everything.
So, what are
And
the skills do you have which you can claim, or you can say that it will be helpful for you for this particular fellowship KRAs?
So I participated in various projects, case study projects, where I got to know then how to problem solving cases, where we got to know then how the particular problem in the society prevails, or maybe in the international countries where we talk about public policy or foreign policy, and how the policy proposals are created and implemented, and the design thinking process, which is mainly going that how you can use those skills in policy proposals and create solutions to those problems and challenges. And I have also done work where I could be a part of organizational skills, or whether it's teamwork, or whether it's drafting proposals, or making or thinking on solutions. So I think I can use all of my skills, and with my studies in political science and economics, I think that I can be fit for the fellowship.
Okay. Also, you have done a project which says renewable energy startups through India and Chile partnership. What was this project, and what was the main things that you have done there, main major activities that you have done in that project?
Okay, so I participated in this. It's a case study project competition, which was mainly on renewable energy startups between India and Chile, cross-border nations, and it mainly talked about how Chile has a main lithium reserves, and lithium is a main manufacturer when we talk about electric vehicles and EVs. And India is also one area, country where we have large, vast resources of renewable energy sources, and when we see that we are seeing the future when coming with EVs and electric vehicles and using the renewable energy, we could also use
Yeah,
international water.
I need to know what kind of renewable energy you are talking about. Is it just lithium based? Is lithium based
So
energy is renewable?
it's based on all sources when you talk about wind energy, solar energy, or hydropower energy, and how we can use those energy and convert them into making of electric vehicles, or into using them into sustainable growth. And as Chile partnership I talked about, Chile is rich in lithium, so how we can use those lithium resources by using cooperation between the both nations, and have a boost in
So
other.
talking about lithium, do you know is India has got some good amount of lithium reserve?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me about that?
So
Like in which
I'm
state, and what is the amount of lithium that we are having?
so I actually don't have the accurate data about the Indian lithium, but it is found in vast resources, and we are also being equipped, having science and
Can you tell
technology.
me the location in which state it has been found?
I guess, sir, I'm not sure. I guess Madhya Pradesh or where.
No, it's in Jammu and Kashmir.
Okay, okay. So
Okay, so another project of yours which says demystifying the blue oceans, women empowerment in Costa Rica and Colombia. So you are like doing your projects and case studies, which is based on some foreign partnership or foreign nation
yeah,
also.
yeah.
So why it is so? Why you're not focusing on Indian land or Indian geographical region?
So I did it as a part of my, I was a part of Global Youth Organization where I did this internship, and there were this case study competitions which they held because Global Youth Organization is in India and with other nations. So mainly the projects which I worked were with India's foreign policy with other nations, and also in India I worked around innovation in healthcare sector, in primary healthcare sector, or in mainly the gig economy, which is currently I'm working on also, and how we can influence the gig economy workers and women into the workforce, and into the and in other development sectors. So those areas I'm working on, and I think that with with my skills,
So if I'll
I
say that your profile is largely suitable for some international affair or something related to that, and you should be pursuing a PG program in those areas rather than going for LAM fellowship. So how will you defend that? Like,
Sir, I think, sir, I do not think that way. I think that LAMP fellowship is also one of the main component when I talk about international relations or public policy, because public policy is also main component there, and LAMP fellowship is itself a great opportunity, which if I get, so it will influence my CV or it will influence my resume for another career if I take into global. I also want to, like, if I take part in global
okay,
policy
so I have
institutes.
two questions in that. First, you have like pitched your interest in public policy. You have done a winter school on public policy also from tests. So what is public policy?
So a public policy is nothing but an institutionalized proposal. It's a purposive course of action which is taken by legislative body or any undertaken by government, and it has mainly laws, rules, and regulations which contain then how to solve a problem, where challenges which are faced by the society, any society, and the
Okay,
people. So
good. And the second thing is like, what do you want to do after this fellowship?
So after this fellowship, I haven't broadened, I haven't like specified my areas, but my area of interest is international relation and public policy mainly. So I want to go into either combining the two, either having global policy institutes or doing masters in public policy areas or think tanks or non-government organizations, or mainly into the UPSC if I deem fit for it after this fellowship. So there are many broad areas which I could work upon, and I think that through this fellowship I could get an idea about it. Yeah.
Okay, now in last, tell me like something about yourself, like where you're from and what's your family background and how did you completed your education and everything.
Okay, so currently, my name is Pragyan, and currently I'm pursuing bachelor's in political science and economics from Gargi College, Delhi University, and I reside in Gurgaon, Haryana. My family, I have my mother is a homemaker, and my father is an electrical engineer in Power Grid Corporation, and I have a younger brother who is currently now in 12th, pursuing his schooling from Amity International School. So. Yeah, and my interest areas lies currently in public policy and international relations. And I like reading books other than that. So yeah.
So what if you're not getting selected in LAMP?
So if I'm not getting selected into a LAMP, I think I can still contribute in some way towards the areas of public policy, because nowadays there are so many think tanks and
No,
NGOs.
I'm talking about what will you do professionally for the next
Okay, so
year or
I plan to do my master's in public policy. I have also applied to TIS Hyderabad, and I've also looking forward to doing master's in international relations or in political science from DU or South Asian University. So currently those are my plans, and other than that, I am also interested in further UPSC if I think that that's the area which interests me. So those are the professional areas which I am currently going to.
okay. So currently you are residing in the Gurgaon.
Yes, yes.
In which area?
Sector 63, sir.
Sector 63. Tell me any problem that you see there which could have been solved or which can be solved through policies by the government bodies.
Uh, I think the main problem is the city urbanization which is there, because Gurgaon, if anyone would have channelized or think about Gurgaon, they think about the urbanization. But I live here in Gurgaon, and I think that mainly the city allocation of the traffic, and mainly the rural part of Gurgaon, which is not yet developed, and there are so many of city planning and infrastructure which should be there, which must government authorities uh, should look forward to, and do something about it. And also about the uh, education sector, which should also do, because there are many people which has been unemployment. I have got to know there's many people who are in unemployment jobs, and also doing a part of there are many children which are educated. So there should be something in the education policy, and also the infrastructure of government schools should be built up, and the clean economy, which I think that the sewage problem, which is also there, and
Yeah,
all of the.
again, last question for you, Pragya. Primary education, which you're talking about, primary education comes under which list? Is it in a center list or state list or concurrent list?
Okay, sir, it comes under center list, because primary education is the main education with the basic education
And
which is
primary
provided.
health?
Primary healthcare is also under the state list and center list. I guess
You are saying
main.
that it is in concurrent list.
Yeah, yeah.
What about higher education?
Yes, I'm not actually, but I guess it's in the centers list.
Okay, but you are not sure for anything. I think you should go with you should check again and you
Yes,
should read about the
to
list.
look into it briefly. Yes.
Okay. So the rest of the like suggestion part I'll be giving you later. Okay,
Yes, sir.
on call or some